Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Ricada of Ricada Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. Hey, guys, how's it going? How's it going? Sorry to be late or whatever, but welcome to Easter Sunday. An Easter Sunday Ricada Law special edition, kind of. I don't know if it's really special edition. It's not, I can't call it special because, like, this is a reschedule of something else. It just happened to be on Easter. So, like that, it's not like special Easter thing. I probably wouldn't have done an Easter show if that means anything. I don't know. Does anything mean anything anymore? I don't think so. But yeah, here we are. First of all, to all my Christians out there, he is risen. Yay. Isn't that nice? It's a good day. He was already risen, like he didn't do it again today. I kind of find that whole like chanting and like shouting of he is risen weird, but only because like it's, well, he was risen yesterday, he'll be risen tomorrow. Like it happened. That happened. That's a thing. And it's like an important big thing, but it's not like he did it again. It's not potato chip time. So, but also I do want to say to all the non-Christians out there as well. Well, and the Jews or whatever. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Especially the Jews. He got you. You thought you got him. You're wrong. You're wrong. Anyway, to everybody, happy Easter Day. If Jesus is real, I think he kind of is. I'm a believer. Some of my approaches to faith and Christianity are different than others, and that's okay with me. I don't care who else it's okay with, but it's okay with me. But with that said, like, if I truly believe like what's written down, you're welcome too. Happy Easter to everybody. So, that said, we're gonna have a little show. The MS gentleman, you can't say Christ is king anymore. That's anti-Semitic, I think. Is it because he's king of the Jews or whatever? But it's a good day. We've got some topics to do today. I do want to talk about Easter a little bit. Just like conceptually, philosophically, pseudo-theologically, but it's not going to be a huge portion of the show. It's not. I don't do the proselytizing thing. If people ask me about my faith, like if they ask me detailed questions, I'll give them detailed answers. They usually take long periods of time that no one wants to sit through. But I will do that, but I don't like go out of my way to bludgeon people with my beliefs. It's not, I don't care what other people do. Other people are called to that. That's them. But I'll always be honest about what I believe. I'll tell people like that I am a Christian. Sure. I'll tell them that. But like, if they want to know more about, do you want to know more? Like Starship Troopers, I will tell them more. Happy to do so. I don't ever run from my beliefs or try to hide them in like a little box or something. It's a part of me. It's a big part of me. Probably bigger than is let on by the show, but that's okay. Now I'm tangenting on this thing. The reason I do that is pretty simple. My personal opinion is that it's very easy to utilize your faith inappropriately, we'll say, for the purpose of attaching yourself to a revenue stream. Does that make sense? it's very easy for some people to go out, be like, oh, I'm a Christian. Christians should come watch and listen. So it's like when you have a black Republican, right? Let's take it out of the religious thing. You have a black Republican. It's like, oh, wow, one of those listens to us or whatever. And then they're really happy about it. And they're like, look, we got one. We got one and we didn't have to catch him on horses or whatever. That's how I kind of like feel about some streamers and anything with a personality marketplace like social media. Like you can make your identity, your religion, your identity. And that's kind of like what you're I don't want to say supposed to. That's kind of what a lot of people do with Christianity already. But now there's revenue, and the emphasis on it makes me uncomfortable. So I'll mention I'm a Christian. I don't, like, I'm not like a super traditional, strict, whatever. But I don't make it like a big part of the show. It is a pretty big part of me and who I am, and like how my regular life goes. For sure. Just because I like hilarious things and antics doesn't mean that I don't have deeply held beliefs, about people and morality and God and all that stuff. So that exists, but I don't bring it out too much. And the reason I don't is because I don't want it to be, I partly don't want it to like look like an actual religious grift, because it's not. Most Christians probably think I belong in hell anyway. They're right. Like they're right. I know. But so that's one thing that very quickly comes across. But I don't ever want to like present myself in that way. So I'm like, I'm a tradcath or whatever. Like I don't do that. The other reason I don't talk about it a lot, again, if it comes up in a subject, like I'll gladly engage a discussion. But I always try to make it clear that I am very much a layperson. I'm a person who thinks deeply on these subjects. I try to research what I can, and I try to go beyond stuff that when I'm interested in a particular part of faith or whatever. I try to go beyond just kind of the surface level and get into it. But I don't want to come across as like some person aspiring to teach or lead people in their faith either. Like that's not what the show here is for. I have done that in other aspects, teaching Sunday school and stuff like that. And that's for those places, not here. So that's why I don't normally talk about this. It's why I kind of leave everything out of it and just try to be my normal goofy ass self when we do this. Just 1 second. Sorry, had a mild interruption, as always. Always an interruption. Anyway, that's why I don't like focus on it. But today we are going to talk about Easter for just a little bit, because it is kind of like somewhat important to Christians and Christianity and like I guess the world. Maybe, right? And that's kind of the weird thing about it is I'm never really sure where the emphasis should be. Like, it is an important event, don't get me wrong. The resurrection of Christ is really fucking important in the cosmic scheme of things, if you believe the Bible or whatever. But generally speaking, for Christians in their general life, is Easter as important as we make it? I don't know. So we're going to talk about that. I'm sure that'll probably make everyone want to commit seppuku. But we're also going to talk about what is another aspect of this, and that is the juxtaposition of Easter and now Transgender Identity Awareness Day or whatever. That Biden made sure on Friday to remind us that was today. Turns out, though, it's been this date for like a long time, I guess, since 2009, which I'm not even aware of transgender people at all. So it's not working. I want to say that it's not working well, but it is interesting. A lot of people are really frustrated. I think a lot of people think that he proclaimed this date to be that, not aware that it has existed before, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because even if he wasn't creating a new awareness day on this very holy day for Christians, what he was doing was putting emphasis away from a lot of people's deeply held beliefs and into a very niche, very controversial, and highly political area. Like Transgender Awareness Day exists so you don't have to announce it. Like, that's kind of the point of the day. It's like you don't, it's like, oh, it's Cripple Awareness Day. You don't have to like point out the cripples. Like they have a day. So you don't have to do that. But we'll talk about that. The backlash from it has been interesting. And I guess part of the questions we'll ask is, should it be? Should it be a problem? Should there be backlash? Should people be mad? Does Biden even know what he's saying? I have no idea. But that's kind of the first chunk of the show. And then after that chunk of the show, we're going to get into attorneys general going after media matters. And the article will frame it as on behalf of Elon Musk and X, otherwise known as Twitter. So all of that is this kind of other aspect. That has nothing to do with Easter, right? That has everything to do with Media Matters being stupid and being a watchdog group. And I fucking hate watchdog groups. Like they are this enigma that is able to gain legitimacy, but it's a fake legitimacy as watching out for something, and then they get to destroy whomever they want. We talked about this the other day briefly, but I'll talk about it a little more with a little more clarity, I guess, because now Media Matters is being targeted by state attorneys general after Musk's lawsuit against him was dismissed. So we'll get into that. Now, maybe we'll get into some other topics. I think I grabbed another one just in case. What do I got? I grabbed it after I made the show. The squatter. Have you seen this? The squatters thing. Squatter stories are popping up all over my news feed. And by squatters, I don't mean like homeless people pooping. I mean, people getting access to a property, remaining there, and asserting some sort of squatters' rights, where they claim a right to remain in possession of real property beyond the expected time, and the law protects them in doing so. This is a problem, and it's getting fucking worse. It's getting worse. Brian Dunham says, Nick, but why do it on a Christian holiday? I presume that you mean the transgender awareness thing. Again, transgender awareness, this date has been the same date since 2009. Easter's the one that changes. Like that's, so like Easter invaded Transgender Awareness Day. Transgender Awareness Day is stupid. Hey, imagine having a predominant narrative that everybody who encounters trans people hates them by default, unless they prostrate themselves before recognizing their pronouns and allowing them to have fellatio or whatever. Like whatever you have to do to appease the trans gods, that exists. But until then, you hate all of them automatically. Why would you want these people? Like, why would you want everybody who hates them to be more aware of their existence? I don't know. I don't follow the logic. Like, that'd be like Jew Awareness Day in Germany, 1942. Ha! We will have Jew Awareness Day. We will celebrate them. They can come out into the streets. Like, that's not a good plan. I don't know. Now, of course, it's a fake narrative, right? Like, people don't hate trans people. They just don't give a shit and don't want to be force-fed reverse-a-cocks all day in their news stories and their children's classes, and their fucking computer purchases, or their like laundry. All the fucking ads at the gas station. The ads at the gas station. Oh my God. Can I take a minute? Why does it take so fucking long to put my goddamn card into a gas pump and have liquid spewing out of it? What, I gotta like tickle it and tease it first and talk dirty to the fucking gas pump? Why do I have to press 87 buttons to get to just pumping gas? It's like, I just want to put my card in and go with the unleaded. Like, that's all I want. I don't have a diesel. Just like, that's all I want. I don't want a receipt. I don't want a car wash. I I don't want to join your fucking rewards program. I don't care about anything else. No, I don't want a survey. Can I just get the gas flowing? It's Minnesota. I'm cold. I'm automatically cold. It's cold outside. Oh, it's like -10. And they're slower. They're slower because those little LCD screens, those shitty LCD screens that they plundered from like the fucking Mercury missions in NASA. They put them into gas stations everywhere. And they're sitting there. They're cold, so they don't work right. Right? That's I'm not gonna say that joke. They're cold, so they don't work right, and they take forever. And so you're just sitting there like, press a button, boop, enter your pin. You're like, boop, 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 enter. Do you want to join rewards? No. Do you want a receipt? Why do you even ask me? I don't want, no. I should have to press a receipt button to get a receipt. Jesus. Do you want a car wash? No. Like, are you sure you don't want rewards? Like, oh my God, just let me pump the gas. Fucking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hate that. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. In Minnesota, it really sucks in the middle of the winter because all you want to do is pump gas in your car. It's like -6. Come on. Just work. Anyway, pardon me for the brief interruption. Where were we? What did that have to do with trans people? I think they're cold. And if you put your card in a trans person, you just want the gas to come out and then never talk to them again. It doesn't matter. Literal first world problem. I think they have gas in the third world too. Oh, yes. No, it was the ads. The ads. By the way, most gas pumps, if you don't know, on the right side, the second button down will mute the ads. Here you go. Once those things start up, bloop. And then like, what's that Marissa chick? Marissa. Not Marissa Tomei, the other, the one that no one likes. It doesn't matter. Like the old washed up celebrity will come up and be like, let me tell you about beaches. I'm like, fuck you. It's a tundra here. I don't even know what a beach is. And they'll like sit there and talk to you about random stuff. All that stuff can be shut off. Usually second button down on the right side, you're welcome. But I hate gas station ads. I hate them more when they got trans people on there because I already don't want to see the ad. And I also don't want to see anything about trans people, not because I like have a particular animus towards them, but because I don't care at all about any of it. I don't want to see an ad for hetero people. Can you imagine? You're like sitting there watching the Lifetime channel with your mother because that's what she watches and she really likes these movies. They're getting better though. Like the production value is actually going up. You're like, Mom, they have James Marsters in it. Not James Marsden, the other one, the guy who played Spike and Buffy. This isn't good. There's no production value. These people were snorting cocaine off the street behind the rich homeless guy before they got their second acting gig back. And it's this movie. So you're sitting there and they just got the Lifetime channel and you're like, oh my God, come on. And then it's like 3 Viagra ads, 9 antidepressant ads. Could you imagine though if one was like, by the way, heterosexuality is great. And this is Thomas. Thomas is a heterosexual male and he is looking for a heterosexual female. Like, I don't care. I don't care. You don't have to put, I don't care about like your body image. I don't care about your weird like obsession with your identity or whatever. Like nobody has an identity except you. You're very unique. Like we're thinking you're another gender. Ooh, whatever. Jesus Christ. Have you tried being a D&D guy? Have you tried that and like thinking maybe I should play football? You think going from male to female is hard? Try going from nerd to anything. Like try it. It sucks. I hate these identity issues. I hate all this stuff. And yet they have to just like hip thrust it into our face over and over and over again. Like it's the thunder from down under and you're a bachelorette party. No, I don't want it. I don't need it. Please stop telling me about it. Go do whatever you want to do. Chop things off, add things on, put 75 dicks on you. I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. Nobody needs to know because this is a you problem. Just like everything else in your life, it's a you problem. Stop advertising it. Why does the president have to tell me about penises coming on and off? Phrasing. There were no children around Biden. Why was he talking about this? Anyway. I thought I was talking about Media Matters. Oh, wait, transgender. All the journalists at Media Matters. Got it. Never mind. Let's get into the subject of Easter. Let's get into... Hold on. Let me just apologize to God for infringing on Easter time with my rant about gas pumps and trans people and identity and Joe Biden being a child molester. Nominated Patriot Affiliate Spirit Sancti. Amen. Sorry, that's my Catholic upbringing. I don't go to Catholic church anymore. I probably should, because I think they burn you still if you don't. But I don't go to Catholic church anymore. I go to a different church. In a way, it's nice. In another way, it's not so nice. The Catholic church is very predictable. They're like, here's what we're going to do every time. Like, well, every time? Like, no, yeah, every time. Well, except on that Good Friday service. Oh, it's that one. Oh, it's 3.5 hours. Why? Well, you have to recite the play. I'm not in a play. No, don't worry. The lines are in your little booklet thing that you get every day. I'm like, what? I have to sit there and go, crucify him with 200 other people. Those aren't actors either. I hate it. Never mind. Let me just say this last thing about kind of church. I hate going to church. I don't care what church it is on Easter and Christmas. I hate it. I hate it. But in spite of that, I actually really enjoyed my church service today. I didn't want to get up and go to church. Believe me. At 5 a.m, when I'm like, maybe I should go to sleep. Maybe I should actually close my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, church is at 10:30, but I have to be up at 8 because I had other shit to do. It's Easter. I don't want to go. I didn't want to get up and go to church. I woke up. I was the crabbiest motherfucker on the planet this morning. I hated everything. I hated atoms for existing, and I haven't even seen one. I was so mad. But then I got up, got going, got the family packed up. We went to church. And I'm sitting there and like, I fucking hate being at church on Easter. Oh, it's the worst. They didn't sit in the tomb. Jesus didn't sit and lecture them. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, Mary, here it's me. Go tell everybody because I don't want to. The priest, the highest priest, took the fucking day off on Easter. Now we're like, no, we got to do this every time. No, he didn't want to. But I don't want to be at church on it. So I'm sitting there like, oh God. And then like another group, like the way our church works is they have these rotating worship teams where they sing, like the singing, right? That's what worship means in a Protestant church. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you say worship in a Protestant church, you literally only mean the people singing up front. That's it. Worship is literally relegated to singing. When people discuss it, they know somewhere up here that worship is bigger than that, but that's all they're talking about. So like, oh, the worship. So there's a bunch of worship teams that rotate in normally throughout the year. Well, on Easter, all of them get to do it. So you're just sitting there like waiting for each one to go. You're like, oh, now the bad one's next. Oh, damn it. That lady, she stopped being able to sing in the womb. Can she still? No, God. Why does she move her mouth like that? Ew. And you're sitting there just like frustrated. That part. So I'm in negative mood. Of course. Like it's probably my skin crawling from all of the like latent Satanism that God is punishing me for. Just sitting there like, oh God, can this be over? And then the preacher starts talking. And I'm like, oh, this will be insightful. Because it's Easter. They all say the same thing every time. And he didn't disappoint. But I liked it anyway. It was nice. Actually, though, no joke. So we do all the worship stuff. Forever. Then my son is Jesus in a play about how he's not in the tomb. And he knocks over a flower pot, which was funny. I'm like, good job, buddy. But they were fake flowers. Hashtag exposed. They're shoved into a foam block. I'm like, those are fake. Those are good fake flowers. Well, we were way back in Egypt looking. Like, where did Moses go still? And we're sitting there looking, like, those are good looking flowers. Nope, they were fake as hell. So when he knocked that thing over, and it was like this slow motion fall where like goes and it hits something and then hits something and hits something. And then it's like, oh no, it's all good. It's going to land on the bottom. And then it like the flowers fall out. And you're like, no, there's going to be dirt everywhere. There was no dirt. That was great. So I'm sitting there and that was fine. Like they did a good job, except for the one poor Mary, her mic was off and they tried to like turn it on. She had the wireless mic and they tried to turn it on, but it didn't work. So this is just a catastrophe, but like not a bad catastrophe. Anyway, that happens, and then the preacher's going, and we're all done with everything, and I'm falling asleep like every 2 seconds. But I wasn't even tired. It's just how I react to everything these days. Anything where I have to sit, I just. But so Lady Raggy's like, wake up, you're falling asleep. You're falling on me. Wake up. She wasn't mad. She just helps me. So so I'm like, okay, I got to go take a walk. So I get up and go take a walk. This is way too much story for this, but sorry, you're in it. I go take a walk and I come back. I'm like, I'm energized. I'm like, okay. I went out in the cold. It was nice. Came back. And I'm like, okay, this preacher's going to wrap this sermon up sometime today and I can go home and go to sleep. He gets to this spot and we'd sang this song at the beginning that I didn't really recognize. And he's like, we sang this song earlier, but we're going to sing it again now, but like the old version, like the old hymn version that was written by a German and translated into Swedish and then translated into English. And all it is guilt and hatred. That's not true, but that's how they feel because the words are stern. But so he starts singing a cappella. He shouldn't. He's a nice guy, but he shouldn't do that. A cappella, this song, this old hymn. And everybody's singing along with him because it's church and they're robots. And we're sitting there singing. And it gets to this line, though. It gets this line that really fucking hit like a sledgehammer. And it was, life is worth the living because he lives. All right? And like, I don't know if any of you have dealt with depression. I don't know if any of you have dealt with suicidal thoughts or even just thoughts of worthlessness or like a lack of existence being preferable to what you have. I know I've talked to so many people who have a loss of purpose, a loss of direction. They're like, well, what is life even for? Right? Like, what is life for? Like, what the fuck are we even doing here? We're going to toil away at a job for some, Jesus Christ is risen. We're going to toil away to some job every day of our lives until we retire into mediocrity. That sucks. Doesn't sound fun. Like, isn't there some purpose? And you're like, no, of course not. The world is here to cripple you and crush you into nothing because you don't matter, right? Like, that's it. You suck. No one cares about you. That's how you feel. Why do I even live? What's my direction? What's my goal? And if you ask someone, they're like, I actually don't know. Like, even someone who's happy with life, they're like, well, I kind of like living. It's cool. It's preferable to being dead. And you're like, but why though? They can't tell you. They're like, well, I mean, I guess this is probably better. I think. I don't know. But they can't give you a reason why you do. And so a lot of people sit there in this like lost place of, I have no purpose. I have no reason. Why am I alive? What am I doing? And that line was like, oh, by the way, when Jesus had the opportunity to die, because you believe. Now, the implication here is you believe in Jesus. Like, it wouldn't matter if you're like a Buddhist or whatever. Nothing matters to them. It's all like give and take. Or I don't know. I don't know Buddhism that well. They're fat. But you have to believe in Christ for this to matter, okay? It's like, oh, when he died, he could have just like fucked off to heaven where he's like king or something. I don't know. But instead, no, he came back. He like conquered death. And what are you? Like, what are you doing? You got shit to do. Live. Life is worth the living because he lives. It was this, I know it sounds cheesy and gay and stupid because it is, but also like sometimes that needs to hit you a little bit. Because like, oh, you're looking for purpose. Why? Like, why are you looking for purpose? You don't need one. You have one, but you don't need to know what it is. Like, just get out there and do it. Get out there and live. Why? Well, Jesus did. And you're a piece of shit compared to him. That guy's cool. Hung around with hookers, strippers, tax collectors. Those guys are. He's hanging around with feds and strippers, guys. Or well, hooker. They didn't do strip shows back then, I don't think. It's like what, the bed sheet just falls off of them? I bet they weren't even a trend. It doesn't matter. He's hanging out with the bad people, like he's partying like crazy. He was cool. Blind people are there and they're like, oh, this guy's blind people can see that he was cool. So it's like, well, that guy's cooler than you. You suck. So you should try living instead. I don't know. It's just good. It hit right. I don't know. You guys like have ever had to deal with that, but if you have, or you know someone who has, it's not like a pleasant thing. There's nothing that you can ever say to someone who's like, what's my purpose in life? Why should I bother living? Like, I don't know. Kind of ugly. What do I say to you? What do you say to people? It's tough. You're like, well, you should live because why? People don't like me. I can't get a job. I can't do this, can't do that. And you're like, that's actually a pretty good list of reasons, you know? Like you might be onto something. You should never talk to me about that because I'm like, oh God, all I can come up with is because like, gotta catch the next episode of and hope they say a show that they're waiting for. Because if they don't, got news for you. Means you're dead. Anyway, so I was really glad. To go to the service today, even though I didn't want to. I never want to go to Easter service. But we went there, it was good. There's this nice little gem in the message that hit nice. Hit nice, like, ooh. Pastor keep talking to me. Oh, wait, no, this isn't the Catholic Church. Never mind. Anyway, I'm going to be full of tangents today. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay. Let's hit these chats. Then we'll get into the actual subject of Easter rather than me just sitting here yammering on about my personal Easter service. C. Goody, 40 months a member. Wow, C. Goody. He says, you don't have to toast, but send up a prayer for my pops. He's got a kidney stone. Oh, God. He has 2 tubes in his cock. Had to have throat surgery. Not fun. Well, hopefully he didn't get the kidney stone through his throat. Because that would be degenerate. Dude, of course we'll throw a little toast in there. You want to know? One of the things I really like? I'm not afraid of it, but I really, really don't want to encounter a kidney stone. I don't want to. I feel like if I had a kidney stone, I'd be like, you know what? Trans me for a minute and then put me back. You just cut that thing open, take the fucking stone out, and then send it back. I don't want to deal with that. That's all I'm saying. God, I don't want a kidney stone. All right, see, Goody, to your pops, man. I hope he has a speedy recovery. Hope they're able to help out with that. I know they got some new technology that kind of like helps break those things down, like sonic waves and shit. Hopefully they're able to help him out and he's not in too much pain. And you can still be the biggest pain in his entire life. Cheers to you. Cheers to him. All right, here we go. Talking trash and truths. Hey, what's up? It says, happy Easter, you heathen. Well, yes, happy Easter to you too, Triple T. Tom Grawl says, here's a little for you and your family. Happy Easter. You might want to try barrel seagrass. By the way, I like a lot of the barrel. My favorite is barrel dovetail, but barrel seagrass is good. Very good. But thank you. Hello, my fellow N-words. Says, this calls for the Pope hat ASAP. Oh, and happy Easter, you shiesty lawyer. And free N-word pass to the chat. Happy Easter, degenerates. You guys heard that. The chat has a free N-word pass. So that's That's on you guys to use that appropriately or inappropriately. Bogey34 says, hey, Nick, can you explain to a confused Jew what the bunny and eggs have to do with your holiday? Every time I ask, nobody knows. Either way, happy Easter, man. Look. Rabbits lay eggs. What are you going to say? It's just a fact of life. Rabbits shit eggs out all over the place. And people are like, oh, well, they don't have a cloaca or whatever the fuck those things are. The rooster, not roosters, the hens have, where they like do everything, all of their bodily functions go through that. That's weird. But they have that where like eggs spit out. Like, well, they don't have that, so they probably just shit them out their asshole because they're rabbits. And so they're like, well, let's eat that. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good plan. It's like, no, it's a bad plan. I don't know. Look, okay, so Easter, the rabbits and the eggs have nothing to do with Christian Easter. There is some symbology or whatever, right? Symbolism in the idea of an egg related to birth, I guess, but Easter isn't about birth. It's about resurrection. It's probably just some pagan shit. Let's just call it that. Some pagan shit. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it now instead of later. Easter Sunday is kind of some pagan shit too. Very dangerous to say. Easter Sunday itself, kind of some pagan shit too. Don't do the math on those days though. We'll just ignore that. But before you Christians crucify me because you like the Jews and you want to be like them, let me say this. I got to say this. Yes, it's provocative to say Easter is some pagan shit. The literal Easter Sunday is some pagan shit. But hold the phone for a second. I actually don't think it matters. People are like, oh, yeah, they stole Christmas from the Druids. It's like, well, fuck the Druids. I don't care about them. Give me Christmas. That's cool. That's way better than whatever those Druidic weirdos are doing out in the woods. Same thing with Easter. They're like, oh, don't you know that has that's a tribute to Asherah, who's like a co-god of Baal. Like, good. Take that shit from her. She sucks. Sitting there with these Asherah poles and sacrifice babies. Fuck her. I don't care. I don't care about that shit. So I'll say it's some pagan shit. It is some pagan shit, but also I don't really care about pagan shit because take it all. That's funny to me. Like, if Christians moved in on like Ramadan or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do Rama Christ. This is the 7 days that Christ didn't eat. You know why? Because he said, fuck Muhammad. That'd be funny. That'd be way funnier than what they do now, which is nothing. So I don't mind that at all. Winning Reality says, hey, Nick, a toast, please, for Shelly, a.k.a. Talking Trash of Truth, on her 50th birthday. I didn't know her name was, but Shelly, happy birthday. Cheers to you, girl. May you have 50 more at least. I hope your birthday is a time for celebration, joy, with people you like, with people you love, and maybe with a few people you hate, as long as they're on the knife board. Cheers to you, girl. Have a nice one. Mistress Meg says you got sick after Field of Greens ran out. Get more, please. Yes. Yes. Spencer Mosher says, happy Trans Awareness Day, you bigot. I see you're celebrating lol. All jokes aside, happy Easter, Nick. Hey, happy Easter to you. Love you. Thank you. I'll get trans for you, Spencer. Get ready. I'm going to become a man. It's happening with Harper says, happy Easter. You don't belong in hell. Well, you only know so much. We all deserve that. That's not in question. But if you believe Jesus is who he says he is, you're good. He died for us all, even Joe Biden. You know what? That's a great point. I actually think heretical. I actually think that Jesus died for people who don't believe in him too, but that's me. Seize the Day says Christ is risen. He already won. Like he didn't. This is what I'm talking about. The sun. See, this is why people worship the sun god, and they didn't even know about this Jesus guy for a long time. He's lazy. He does things one time. He's like, oh, yeah, they're going to remember me forever. This Ra, he had to get up and fly that fucking sun around every day. He's like hauling that shit heavy over the horizon. He says, blessings, Nick, and your family. Hey, thank you, Caesar Day. Blessings back to you. Hello, my fellow N-word says, it wouldn't be as bad for Biden if they didn't ban religious eggs at the White House this year. That's real king. Wait, they banned the eggs? They banned the eggs at the White House because Biden is only interested in females who are too young to menstruate. God damn it. I didn't want to say that joke. It's not a joke. That's actually just real. That's the worst part. Remember when he like sniffed that little girl and like rubbed her shoulders and said, don't tell your mom. When I grew up as friend, I said, don't tell your mom. Dude's fucking weird. Gross. Anyway. Let's see. Seize the Day says, April 1st, taxes up 23%. First of many coming to us. Don't talk to me about taxes, please. Ever again. Wartooth88 says, how come whenever I ask a chick where she wants it, she always says her ass? Happy Resurrection Day. Because they're identity confused. They think they're a gay man. Mr. Paul R says, make Transgender Day April 1st more appropriate. Maybe. Guys, I can't express how much I hate tomorrow. April Fool's Day. Every company is going to have their like, we gotcha. We had a focus group come up with this joke. We're going to put it on Twitter and our webpage. Can you just not? Like, can you just fix the bugs in your software or whatever? I fucking hate April Fool's Day. Frog Tony says, you should live despite those that don't want you alive. That's true. You should do that. Oh, there's a member for 13 months at a super lawyer level who has a message, but it was retracted and it doesn't tell me who it was. Cheers to anonymous guy. June Wong says, hey, what's wrong with people against goodness and normality? Oh, pagan. I got it. It's an acronym. Nothing. Nothing's wrong with pagans. I just think it's funny when Christians steal stuff from people. Like, that's all. Thou shalt not steal. Well, let me talk to you about this land, these slaves. Oh, and all your religious beliefs. Just Dawn, Soulless Ginger says, today is our beloved Shelly's Talking Trash and Truth birthday. Yet again, happy birthday, Shelly. I hope you have a nice one. Real Patriot Party says, prayers for C. Goody's dad, throat surgery. Look, oh, wait, Goody, I talked about your dad and his like kidney stones. Were they esophageal kidney stones? Did he get them from Caitlyn Jenner? Like, where did he get them? I hope not. Tough time passing a kidney stone, stuff no one needs in their later years. So give it up for C. Goody's dad. Send those prayers out and avoid complications. Cheers again to C. Goody's dad. American Red Pill says, Nick getting smashed on Resurrection Day. Yep, he's a Catholic. Yeah. Well, I mean, I am still a Catholic. Like, you don't get to leave. It's like the mob. They don't let you out. I am still a Catholic, so of course I'm going to get trashed on Easter. If I was a Baptist, I'd already be trashed from yesterday. Jason of TGA says, Nick is taking the rainbow back, one Bill Nye ice cream flavor orgy at a time. The rainbow's mine. The rainbow is mine. It belonged to Jesus. God gave Moses the rainbow. He's like, oh, or not Moses, Noah. Well, and Moses. He's like, Moses can have it later. Noah's earlier. It's like, look, you built this boat, idiot. Think about it. Honestly, like, just think about it. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flood the whole earth. And there's that one like angel, like assistant who's like clacking away on a keyboard. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I'm going to flood the whole fucking thing. These guys are assholes. They all suck. None of them are good. Not one of them. And you're like, well, like, not one. Like, you can't think of anybody who's cool. You're like, oh, yeah, you know what, though? Actually, hold up. Thank you for checking me for a minute. They got this Noah guy. He's cool. He's got a family of assholes, but they're grandfathered in. They're the anchor babies, right? Like Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Wait, is that them? Ham, Shem, and Japheth? Or was that later? Was that a different Bible story? It doesn't matter. I think it is them, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Why is Japheth such? Why does he get 2 syllables? Ham and Shem get 1. It doesn't matter. Noah's sitting there. When God's like, well, this guy's actually kind of cool. He's a new dude. Like, he's fine. He's real. He's for real. He's not one of those haters, right? Because, like, every guy named, like, I don't even know Middle Eastern names. What are their names? Like Ben Jazir or whatever. Like, Ben Jazir's like, haha, where's your God now? And all the children's cartoons, like, it's just a passing shower. It's just a mild rain. What is it? And then he's like, 2 minutes later, he's gargling like the last orgy he was at. He's dying. And you're like, that's who you get, Baal worshiper. I almost went to the FA, but I'm going to go, you fucker. See? You guy fucker. See, that's what I was going to do. And like, he's sitting there and you're like, oh, this is great. Do you remember all those Christian cartoons, like for the kids? They're like, hey, remember when Samson picked up a fucking jawbone from a boar or whatever, and he murdered like 150 Philistines? Laughs and fuck the Philistines. You're like, oh my God. Like, what did he do? Like, well, he was out there and there's a bunch of these guys. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna this is a jawbone of an animal. I'm gonna kill every one of them. You're like, why? Because. Or do you remember when like David is out there? He's like, hey, Saul, like, how can I be king or whatever? Saul's like, oh, David, my son to be. I know you love my daughter, but I need a proper dowry. David's like, what can I do? They're very Jewish. And he's like, oh, no, it's fine. What I need you to do, I need you to go out and get 100 foreskins. Like, what? From the Jewish babies? Because that's easy. They just have a pile of those fucking things because they keep cutting them off. These kids, they don't even ask. They're sucking them off. The bris thing or whatever. That's weird. And they go, they have a spit can for baby foreskins. I can get a bunch of those things. They're really cheap. Wear them like rings. That's what they make these silicone rings out of, by the way. It's a Nigerian. Anyway, so he's sitting there. He's like, bring me 100 foreskins. He's like, that's weird, but I can do it because they have the shop right over there. It's like, no, Philistine ones. Like, those guys aren't circumcised. They've got dick cheese under there. They're still docking. We moved way past docking a long time ago. We just go straight to butt sex. By the way, David, he had that weird friend. I don't remember his name, but David had that weird friend. You're like, even in the Bible, I'm like, these guys are spending a lot of time together. It's kind of intimate. Do you guys remember his name? Someone put his name in the chat. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, David's like, well, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm going to go get 100 Philistine foreskins so I can marry your daughter that you told me I can marry earlier, but now I can marry her again, but only after this. So he goes out. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? He asks for 100. But since I love cutting off the foreskins of Philistines so much, I'm going to get 200. He asked for 100. I'm going to get 200. Not 130. Not like a rounding error. Like, well, it's like 107 because we lost count. There's like a group of them sitting around a campfire. And one of them was a woman. We didn't even know. I'm going to double it. That's strange. I don't fucking get it. What is the give me 100 foreskins? I'm already like, oh God, like that's what I have to do to be king. That's kind of steep. But I guess I'm not the overachiever in this situation. I don't know about you guys, but you're like, you know what, foreskins, those are cool. Let's grab a bunch of those. It's weird. The Bible's fucking weird. This is all Old Testament, though. This gets wiped away immediately when Jesus comes back. This is why Easter's important. All of this shit, Jesus like, by the way, look, I know my dad has some stories. Kind of like one day he's drowning in foreskins, the next day he's flooding the entire earth. I know some fucking stories are going. But listen, you guys are focusing on weird stuff because you keep coming to my tabernacle and sacrificing like goats. I don't want a goat. Like, what are you doing with goats? I can't eat. I'm literally transcendent. I'm an ethereal being. I don't need food. Why are you sending me the fats, the good fats, the good, like the first grains? I don't care about that shit. Can you just like not do that and realize like I'm pretty good and like you guys are good? Like maybe don't murder each other sometimes. Oh, and don't lay down with homosexuals. If you just like that's what you, he's like, stop grabbing foreskins. That is not normal. I think you guys missed the rule there. Anyway, so got back to Noah. We're at 3 levels of inception. We're going to roll it back to 2. Back to Noah. God's like, oh, yeah. You know what? You're right. There is one guy on the planet who's good. It's Noah. He has these kids. Those guys suck and they have wives. Kind of hoes, but it's like a package deal, right? Like, it's like when you go to buy oranges at the grocery store and they're like, oh, also, if you get 8 bananas, it's free. It's like, oh, I don't even want bananas. I don't have any Africans in my. You're like, I just want the one thing, but you got to get the other thing to get the discount. You know what I'm talking about. That's what God's like. He's like, well, Noah's cool. It kind of sounds like the Sodom and Gomorrah story, right? Like, well, Lot's cool. He has a family, though. Lot's cool because when I sent my angels down there, Lot's like, whoa, guys, to the town, don't fuck the angels. Here's my daughters. Weird. God's like, that's a godly man. That's not. That's not okay. Christians, do not follow that example. Jews, you either. I know you did. Don't. So he's like, no, this Noah guy's good. We'll save him. And the angel stenographer is like, okay, well, how are we going to save Noah? God's like, I'm going to tell him to build a boat. You're going to have him build a boat? Yeah. It's going to flood like a motherfucker there. When? Oh, like 150 years. 150 years. He's got to build a boat for 150. You said he was a good one. Well, yeah. So you want to save him, obviously. And your method to save the guy, the one good guy on the entire planet, the only good guy is to make him work on a boat for 150 years. Oh, caveat, little asterisk, footnote, put it down. It's number 3. He also has to get a shitload of animals on the boat. How's he going to do that? I don't know. How's he going to get a bird to stay on a boat? Birds can just fly around. It's like, I know, it's funny, right? He's going to have to build cages or something. What if one of these animals, like if there's just 2 of them? Well, some of them, there's 7, like the beef, because he's got to eat. You got to kill those fuckers. And the cat and the, not the pigs though, because we're Jewish. Like the beef and other stuff. You got to have like 7 of those. But yeah, a lot of them, there's only 2. It's like, what if one of them dies? Gets sick? And we're like, what if strep throat goes around the boat? So I know. It's like a challenge mode. It's like really, really tough for this guy to do this. First, he has to spend 150 years building a boat, and then I'm going to flood the entire earth. He has to get on the boat. He better get the amount of food right, and then he's got to get all these animals. It's a lot of stress, and everyone around is going to be like, you're fucking retarded. What are you doing? Why are you building a boat? You live in a landlocked country. He's like, I know, but God told me to build a boat. It's like, why would you? Are you Ken Ham? You can't do that. Why are you building a giant fucking boat in the middle of the land? He was right, though. But God was rude in that story. Has anybody thought about how rude God was to Noah? You're the one righteous man. Build a fucking boat. Otherwise, you're going to drown with the rest of them. Ha! Noah should have stuck his ground and challenged him on that. That's what I would have done. I'd be dead, right? I know I would have drowned too. But I've been like, wait, I'm the one guy. Why do I have to build a boat? You created the earth. Can you just make a boat for me? Like when the time comes, like I don't want it sitting around here. It's weird. Get a bunch of neighbors. Homeowners association is going to be mad. But when the rains come, and just make a fucking boat. All you have to do is speak it. I heard about this. I read about it somewhere. You just go, and then there was a boat. God's kind of rude sometimes. I've taken a long time to do this, but it's true. It's true. It's weird. Low watermark, 50 gifted memberships. Thank you. My man. My N-word. Cheers to you, brother. Happy Easter. He's risen. Chief Guy says Nick is bitter at God about his nose. No, not at all. I'm bitter at God for a lot of other reasons, but not that. Oh my goodness. What are you saying about my note? We're going to have words, and mine are going to be nasally. Wartooth88 says, you see Chris Gore going nuclear on me? No. Over Poor Things film last week. It's quite good, and EVS covered it much to Tom's dismay. I posit what is it is. Nope. I haven't seen any of that. I like EVS and Chris Gore and Tom. From whatever. Midnight's Edge After Dark. Grifty says the tribe always gets a little overzealous when it comes to the pales. I mean, Philistines. Look, I love the Bible a lot because I love when people tell me, like, no, it's really important that you understand that it's definitely happened exactly as it was written. I'm like, but what if by 150 years they're like, it took a long time, like longer than mowing the lawn, but shorter than the State of the Union, right? Like it took a while to build this fucking boat. Like it's a long time. Now, 150 years. That man is dedicated or the worst procrastinator ever. I can't figure out which one. Did he grow the trees? Is that what he had? Is that why it took so long? Because, like, that's a big fucking boat. Where do you put the teeth? Like, a lot of animals had to die in that boat. Where, probably like 6 million animals, counting mosquitoes and shit. Like, where's the teeth? Anyway. And you're like, well, God, like, if this is the one righteous guy, why don't you just, like, set him up on a stool or whatever? Well, he's going to be there for 40 days. That's your choice. You didn't have to do this at all. You could have killed all those assholes right away. Well, I wanted it to rain for 40 days. They literally died in the first day. They died in the first day. They all drowned. Remember when you killed all the Egyptians? It was like that, but way worse. They all died. Wait, that would come later. I think that was later. That was later. Yeah, the Egyptians were later. Remember when you're going to kill the Egyptians? That was going to... You're like, well, maybe not all of them. Just the firstborn sons. Oh, poor those kids. You're gonna kill all these people. They're gonna die the first day. It's a global flood. No one has any ground left. Yeah, but 39 more days of rain is funny. I don't know why. Like, well, then what? Well, it's gonna take like 110 days for the water to subside. Don't worry about it. Why does it take so long? Are you in charge of this stuff? Yeah. Why are you doing this to my man's? My man's no. Why are you doing this to him? He's just a dude. It's like, yeah, he's the only good dude. You didn't do this to the bad people. You did this to the good guy. Why don't you just like kill all the bad people and be like reset button on the Nintendo when it's all glitchy? It's like because it's funnier this way. God's kind of silly in the Old Testament. This is why we're getting to Jesus, right? And Easter. I know it's been a tangent. It's been a roundabout way. But let's talk about Easter for just a second. I haven't even gotten to the first subject yet. It's only 59 minutes in. What did they eat for 150 days? Ass. They just toss salads all day. There's like 8 of them. Just rotate around. Anyway. I'm sorry. God, I'm joking. Really? So I saw the Russell Crowe movie. I didn't watch it, but I didn't watch it because I respect you. I saw what you did to some people. I respected you, so I didn't watch the Russell Crowe, but I was just making a joke. Anyway, Contrarian 420 says all religious concepts about God are idiots. Or idols. Idols. right, here we go. So Easter. I feel like this is really not the place for it, but we're here now. We're here now. Easter is a Christian tradition of observing and respecting the resurrection of Christ, which is like Easter and Christmas have an arm wrestling match, right? For the most important events in Christianity. Oh, Jesus was born. Granny's a little shit, like a little baby's crying all the time. Has to have its diaper change. Can't you fix that? Did he really need to have intestines? No. You could have made him without those. Help Mary and Joseph out, but no, you made him normal. So he's this little baby. He's crying all the time. Or the time when he dies, that's Friday. And then apparently Sunday, he's resurrected. Now there's a dispute over the days. Maybe it's Saturday night, maybe it's Sunday morning. I don't know. You got to read the text and figure it out yourself. I'm not going to do it. There's a dispute though. Anyway, so we look at this thing and we go, oh yeah. I remember that God guy. He died and came back. What a racket. So he comes back. And when he comes back, it's this really important time, just like when he was born, but different. He says, hey, I died, but gotcha. I'm back. I defeated death. Death doesn't win anymore. Like, wait, how did death win over God in the first place? I'm very confused. But he's like, no, listen, there are rules. And I beat them because I died, and now I'm back. Which means all your sin is gone. Wow. Why? Because I suffered on the cross. Like, I didn't know that was part of the deal. I would have put you on a cross earlier. We waited 33 years for this. There's a bunch of people. No, it's like, no, I went down and got those guys. I brought them back up to heaven. They were on the grandfather plan. And when they were still down like purgatory and hell and shit, though, it's like, trust me, it's okay. I know about this. You don't. So Jesus dies and comes back, and you're like, oh, okay. And he's like, no, everything's won. I paid the price for all of you guys. Like, I paid the cover. Get in the club. Get in the club. Get in the club. And it's really kind of cool when you think about it, because it's the first time in the Bible, to get serious, it's the first time in the fucking Bible where God is like the most compassionate he could possibly be. And I hate that Christians do this. I actually hate this part of the Bible. They say God sent his only son to die so that whatever. I don't think God sent Jesus to die. Maybe I'm a heretic. And God's like, hey, by the way, look, I got this planet full of these weirdos. Like, if you go down there, it'd be cool. Like, to talk to them and stuff, make them think about me sometimes. Like, I'm kind of cute, but they don't have access to my Instagram, not for a while. Like, can you go down there and just tell them what's up? Yeah, bro. So he goes down, like, he's talking to himself in the mirror, obviously, because he's narcissist also. He sends Jesus down, and then Jesus is like, why are they trying to kill me, fam? He's like, what? Sent you down? No, I don't think that's what happened. That doesn't spell a kind and like caring God either. I think God sent Jesus down to become king, and then humans killed him. I think they fucked it up. But I think God was like, I mean, you can't fuck my plans up. I'm going to make you wait a while like Moses in the desert, right? Like, you don't get to get to the promised land. Oh, God, you fucked that up, you idiot. Oh, your cool little golden sheep or whatever. I don't care about that shit. You have to wait outside like a bitch. Joshua's going to go in there. He's going to be like, oh, there's Canaanites. We can kill those guys. Can't wait till Moses dies. I'm going to go kill the shit out of all those Canaanites. And they're like, yeah. But Moses, you have to die first. He's like, I'm old as fuck, and I don't know when I'm going to die. It's like, have my tea. And then he dies right away. It's this weird thing where literally for the first time, God's like, no, like, I know you killed this guy. Like, this is me. This is my son. This is like, I have this feelings for him. You killed him, dicks. But I'm going to take this thing. I'm going to use it to spread redemption over everybody on the fucking planet. That's my fuck you to you guys. He's like, oh, that's the king. Ha! He's not immune to swords, is he? Or spears or whatever, crowns, whips, starvation, broken legs. He's not immune to nails. Oh, God. Must be cool to be king. The emperor's new clothes. Bam, bam, bam. Rude. God, I hate Romans. Everybody should. They were assholes. So they kill him, and they're like, God sent this guy? What a jackass. The guy, like, brings him back. He's like, oh, well. Yeah. Literally, he was supposed to be nice to you guys, and it's going to be good. I hate that Christians are like, no, God's like, oh, yeah. Go down there and die, you piece of shit. Why'd you take the last Oreos? She's like, I didn't. It was seriously, it was that Satan guy. It's weird. It's a weird story. God's weird, but he is. But this is the first time in the Bible he's really legitimately super compassionate. He's like, nah, actually, you killed my kid. I'm going to turn that to something great for everybody. So Easter matters in that way. It really does. It is the resurrection of Christ. It is the conquering of sin and death. God's like, I sent him a king to show him the rules, but you know what? They killed that guy. They didn't want rules. Here we go. Fine. You don't have to have rules. You don't have to have guilt. You don't have to have shame, doubt, anything. In fact, all you have to do is go, actually, that was the king. The God sent us the king. We wrecked that. But all I have to do is go, oh, wait, no, he's back. And he's like, not even mad about it. It's like when you team kill your friend in Halo with like a grenade and he gets launched off the map in a funny way. He respawns. He's like, guys, I don't give a shit. That was great. She's just like, whoa. Look, I've seen crucifixions before. But the flogging, the crown, the little, like the mocking thing, that's the icing on the cake. You guys wrote in Aramaic that I was king of the Jews. God, that was a dick move. That was pretty funny. He didn't care. He's like, oh, yeah, I forgive all of you. It's all forgiven. Everything. Well, Earl over there, he's going to go, Alabama doesn't exist, but it's gonna. That guy's going to go fuck his sister. And she's like, oh, gross, but he should die here because that's, get him out of here. But when he gets up, like, we'll be like, yeah, you're cool. Like, sorry, you're forgiven. It's not my fault God made you retarded or your fault. It's God's fault. He welcomes you in anyway. You're no longer retarded. Stop fucking your sister. It's weird. She's not going to be dead for 50 years. Stop it. He forgave everything. It's crazy to think about. Because have you read the rules? Have you read Leviticus? Have you read Deuteronomy? And have you read Numbers? Oh my God. It's worse than the government regulations. And, oh, what's the punishment for all of it? Oh, get fucking killed. Well, that's steep. I didn't know that was the option. No, it's like, yeah. Well, the lighter option, well, we cut off your hands. So I can't eat ramen, so I die anyway? Okay, cool. And he's like, no, that's all wrong. Stop cutting shit off of people. Stop killing people. By the way, I died. All they have to do is like be like, oh, yeah, thanks. But I don't think he actually said that. That was Paul. Paul said you have to say thanks. I don't think Jesus said that you have to say thanks or whatever. He's just like, no, look, I died for all of you. And I'm back. It's cool. It's fine. Hurt for a little bit, and I'm good. That's why the Easter story is important. It's critical to Christianity because it is salvation. It's salvation in a moment. It's the event of salvation where God stops. He finally stops being a dick. Because all the God's stories before that is like, there's one guy I'm going to save. And the news story was, I'm going to save everybody, but this one guy's got to go. It's the script flip. It's the most dramatic, tension-breaking moment in the Bible. It is the entire culmination of the climax. Here you are. Build, build, build. He's dead. He's killed by Romans. Everybody's fucking wondering what's going to happen. Even Peter, he's like, I denied him. I denied him 3 times. There's more bagels than I ate today. He's sitting there. No one knows what's going to happen. And then, bam, he comes back. They're like, holy shit, that was cool. Except for Thomas. He's like, I don't buy it. right? Thomas is a guy who's never spent more than $40 on anything in his life. It's like, nah, let me put my hands in that. But forget Thomas. That's like your friend's frugal black dad. That's Thomas was black. I think people know that. Anyway, ignore him. But everybody else is like, holy shit, you're back. That's cool. Oh, and everyone's forgiven. That's wild. No one had, like, you didn't have to flood the earth. They knew all these stories, by the way. You didn't have to flood the earth. You didn't have to kill all the firstborn. You didn't have to, like, make us wander around the fucking desert again. You didn't have to do any of that. No. You died and that was it. Oh, wait, you came back? So you didn't even really, was it really dying though? Was it that hard, Jesus? That's what they're saying. It's this turning point in the Bible. It is the moment that matters. But why does this day matter? I really want to ask you that as Christians, because to me, this is a big problem. Why does this day matter to celebrate and be like, he's risen? Remember that. You know, they tell us that all the time. He died for your sins and he's risen. Oh, yeah, good. I got it. Why does today matter? Why is it special? What is it? I actually don't think it is that special. I don't think Jesus wants us to focus on his death and resurrection. To me, if I'm reading the New Testament, because the Old Testament, fuck you, the Old Testament. If I'm reading the New Testament, I'm looking at the ministry of Jesus, I'm looking at his disciples, I'm looking at everything. You know what I don't see? I actually don't see the disciples running around being like, he's risen on Easter only. I don't see that. Or a couple days after Passover or whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't see that at all. In fact, I see them doing daily ministry. I see them doing daily service. I see them ministering to the poor, the sick, the needy, the hungry, the women. I see them going out and fixing broken things all the time. Not going, he's risen. Yes, today matters. I'm going to put on nice clothes. Take a bath, maybe. No. He just every day grind. Find and encounter hurt in the world. Find and encounter people in the world who need anybody. And just tell them, hey, what can I do for you? And then fucking do it. Most important part is just do it. Even if you can't do all of it, you do a little bit. Hey, man, I'm down on my luck. I got nothing. Like, well, I'm not going to give you a 20 because I know where that's going. But here's the Snickers, man. Like, here you go. Here's a box of cereal. Here's something. Here's a blanket. Here's a book. I know you're out here. It's hot. Here's an umbrella. I know it sounds weird. You ever stand 100-degree heat for 8 hours asking people for money? Probably not. You got internet. You're watching Jackass on YouTube. It's weird to think what little things that we take for granted matter. The disciples did that shit all the time. So did Jesus. Just walking around. He give these people like little nothings, and then they became big somethings. Oh yeah, that's what I got. Blind guy's like, what do you need? My eyes hurt. Here's some lube. Like in Brokeback Mountain, he spits the dust in his eye holes. And all of a sudden he's like, he does the thumbs in the eyes. She's like, and then suddenly this guy's like, holy shit, I can see. She's like, I know. That's good for me too. But it's weird. All these things that they do, they come from this basic understanding. And if you go back and look in the, I promise you, if you go look in the New Testament, this is where modern Christianity fails this all the time. And I legitimately mean that. They fail this all the time. Go look in the New Testament at all of these moments of ministry and miracles and realize that the first thing they do always is address the current, present physical need of the person. And the second thing they do once that's done is they tell them about their soul, their life, their sins, their failures, and their successes that are to come. Say, hey, stop doing that shit. Go be better. That always comes second. The American Christian church makes that first. And that whole minister to their physical needs, that doesn't happen anymore. It gets shuffled off to organization. Well, we'll take in donations, give to someone else. They don't do it. We're going to tell you about your soul, what you're doing wrong. We're missing it, guys. Easter is here, and everybody's like, aha, I remember Jesus, that guy. He shows up twice a year. That's cool. when every day we fail. And the scary thing is, this is not a statement about everybody or like any numbers. The scariest thing to me is that the Bible exists. People believe in it. And yet there are people who don't believe in the Bible who do more than the people who do. Not everybody. It's not like a number comparison. I know, like, if you do surveys, Christians are more giving, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. But there are Christians who genuinely believe in the Bible who do less than atheists who don't. But they'll show up to church on Easter. And they'll say he's risen. With that, I'm going to go pee. I'll be back in a couple minutes. We're not flipping to Rumble today. We're just going to keep trucking on. I'll see you guys in just a bit. My bladder right now screaming. See you guys in just a second.
He drank a fair bit and then realized that his bladder can't handle the liquor inside, leaving us with his chair while he runs up the stairs, hoping the stream doesn't suddenly die. While we are waiting, we'll be laughing at you. The drinking along is what most of us do. The chat is united, getting excited. What you have for us when your feeling is through. When you have a small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of the liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Now you're washing your hands and you realize that you've forgotten to scrub both the front and the back. Then you'll grab a quick bite, kiss your lady goodnight, and remember to thank her for all of the snacks. Whoa, water will cure your hangover. Oh, so drink some when the stream is over. When you have small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of the liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Soaking your drawers. He drank a fair bit and then realized that his bladder can't handle the liquor inside, leaving us with his chair while he runs up the stairs, hoping the stream doesn't suddenly die. While we are waiting, we'll be laughing at you. The drinking along is what most of us do. The chat is united, getting excited. What you have for us when your feeling is through. When you have a small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of the liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Now you're washing your hands and you realize that you've forgotten to scrub both the front and the back. Then you'll grab a quick bite, kiss your lady goodnight, and remember to thank her for all of the snacks. Whoa, water will cure your hangover. Oh, so drink some when the stream is over. When you have small bladder and no sphincter control,
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. Sorry about the wait. I have become myself. All right, here we go. Lance. Lance says we got a couple of chats here. We're gonna finish up this Easter topic real quick. I took a long time to get into it. Lance says, speaking of God being rude, remember that time he was just arguing with the devil? He was like, "Yeah, Lamau, go ahead and mess up Job. That'll show you." Yes. Well, I don't want to say he's the devil because it's weird. That's it's not the same usage of Satan. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yes, he did that. That was funny. Oh yeah, but kill that guy's whole family twice. Jun Wong says, speaking of eating ass, Nick, I was told you are the expert. Consider this an ice baldo. Gotta be cold, man. After the top uses it to penetrate the bottom, the ice melts and then the tables turn with the bottom having the top's balls in his or her grip. Scary. I don't like that. It's also cold. Christopher Dolan says, what is your favorite snacking cheese? There are no wrong answers because cheese is love. I like a smoked Gouda. Smoked Gouda is delicious. I like Havarti. I like Munster. These are just like the plain cheese. I really like ghost pepper and habanero cheeses. Pretty much anything mixed like with those. I like spicy cheese. I don't know what to say. I really like an aged cheddar as well, but preferably like smoked Gouda, Munster, and Havarti are like really good ones to me. That's it. All right. Real Patriot Party says, Nick Pope hat blew it off Friday, you dick. Sunday's a good day to repent to ghetto. Everyone wants it, so be kind. Trumper Mike says, nice stream, Nick. Bless you and your family. Hey, bless you too, Trumper Mike. Appreciate that. And then we have the Dukes over on Locals. Says, the only reason Christians get shit on is because they don't crash planes into buildings when you're mean to them. Right. I'm not going to say they should start doing it, but they should consider it. Think about it, don't do it, and apologize for your dirty thoughts like the rest of us. Here we go. So let's finish up this Easter topic because I know it's riveting and everybody loves like talking about Christianity with a jackass who licks bottles on stream. Thousands of people. You're only mad because you wish it was your bottle. Anyway, here we go. Look, Easter. Easter is a huge event. It's a culmination of all this stuff. But I keep going back. To this idolatry thing. You know, the whole like idol thing. And I know it's like don't take false idols or whatever. But I don't like the idolatry aspect of Easter. I think we over-idolize this event. Yes, it matters. Yes, it's big. We all know. We're told every fucking year. Over and over. And we're told in the in-between times, right? Between Easters, you hear about Easter. If you're in a Protestant church, you hear about Easter. Between Easters, about 330 days out of the year. No crazy sign for you, right? You know you're saved. Do you know you're saved? You know you're going to heaven? Like, stop asking me that question. This is a philosophical question that involves existential problems that I can't answer. I was Catholic and I went to go visit the Pope. I didn't go to visit the Pope. The Pope was visiting St. Louis, Missouri, and I went to go to that. And then I got approached by a street Protestant, which is just a Protestant without shoes. He was telling me about the good news of Christ. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm Catholic. It's cool. It's like, do you know you're going to heaven? I'm like, whoa. I mean, like, listen, buddy, I'm like 17, maybe 18. I think it was 17. And I have seen women. I don't know if I'm going to heaven or not. Because what's going on in my mind right now isn't good or bad. It's pretty great and also very evil. So I don't know, man. You don't have shoes. Do you know if you're going to Nike later? And they're always like, you gotta know. I'm like, how do you know? Because Billy Graham said so? That guy was weird. We've cheapened so much, like this idea of salvation, what Christ allegedly did on the cross, right? what God converted man's evil into in the ultimate act of mercy, compassion, and love for those that killed his own son. Although, like, again, is it really that bad if he can be like, bloop, and he comes back? Like, and you can't, God knows he's like, I can make another one. But anyway, he shows his ultimate act of mercy, compassion. I know it didn't matter to God because he's like, it's fine. Look, he's got a warranty. And like, you could, put a bunch of holes in him, whatever. Crown things is weird. Like, I don't know why you guys are doing that. He died on the cross. He doesn't eat. Kind of needed. He had bad food taste. He's got a warranty, though. I'm going to fix him. It'll be fine. But the point was to relate it to us, right? Like, I'm his dad. That's my son. Like, if it was you and your son, probably be pretty pissed off. Wouldn't feel good. So then I'm going to take that ultimate act of horrendous loss and pain, and I'm going to turn it into compassion, grace, a gift for everybody. Because I do have the warranty, right? Like, I bought it. The extended one lasts a while. This sucks. I'd be without my Discman for like 3 days. But when I get it back, that Green Day thing's going right back in. So I grew up in the 90s. But anyway, so he knew that Jesus was going to come back singing an American Idiot. And that was fine, but he wanted to relate it to these people who didn't know how to overcome death. Like, I got the way, I got the answers right here. By the way, when your sons die, when you die, you're a son, whatever. You'll know what I went through for you, and also you'll know that you have a warranty too. You don't come back here because here's shit. Look, I made this place with leftover parts. All the good shit's up there. That's where you go. Just fuck off to that place. That's way better. But you have a warranty too. You're not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. Why? Well, because you killed him, but he's mouthy. It's a weird thing. The Christian belief in this faith in the resurrection, salvation through death is a strange thing in a vacuum. But when you go back through the Bible and you look at all the times that the opposite was true, right? I mentioned it earlier, that God wipes out swaths of people and leaves one, finds one person worthy. This time he finds the one worthiest person. It's him as a human. Finds the one worthiest person that's out there and says, instead of killing all you motherfuckers for drinking all the grape soda, I'm just going to kill that one. Like, but that guy didn't even drink grape soda. He was drinking milk. No one wanted milk. No, but I know he's the best one. And when he dies, all y'all are going to be fine. Not even going to be mad about the grape soda anymore. And it's a heel turn on the entire Bible. All of it. All of it's flipped on its head. Everything goes from this outward religion of hatred. Fuck you, Jew. To the Jews, by the way. Outward religion of hatred, condemning the others. You got too many tassels on your robe. Dead. Your woman touched my penis. Dead. But after I get her, I buy your daughter after I rape. Weird outward projection of hatred through religion of the old Jewish law, Mosaic law. It flips it into an introspective law about self-condemnation, self-preservation, self-betterment, self-judgment, not the judgment of others around you. I mean, Christians forget this all the time, but seriously, it's about self-judgment. It's about looking at you going, oh God, I kind of suck. But also knowing that, hey, I know I kind of suck, but that guy fixed it. Everywhere else, we all had to die. It's cool. It's a cool moment. Why is it such a big deal? I don't know. It's a one-time thing. You don't have to talk about it every fucking year, though. It doesn't have to be the biggest, most important celebration. To me, it should be just another day. Because, and this is the last point, God and Jesus and the disciples, when they ministered, all of those instances, it was not important what day it was. In fact, it was specifically unimportant what day it was. Because that's the everyday work. That's the everyday compassion. That is what Christ came to show us who God was. It's like, yeah, I know. I know I had to die and do all this stuff, and he bought all your salvation. This one thing is great. Fire sale, 30% off or whatever. But every day, seriously, every day, I'm the groceries, motherfucker. Put me in the fridge. Take me out. Use me to solve everyone's daily shit all the time. Because that's what Christianity is about. It's about compassion, care, love, ministry, and grace every day, not one day. That's why I don't like the holiday services. That's why I don't like Easter church. That's why this shit pisses me off. He's risen. I know, buddy. That's like saying apple pie exists. Yep. It's cool. Do I need to do that on the day apple pie was invented? Because I'm going to eat one tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Whole pie. Be great. I don't care what day it was invented. I don't really care what day Jesus came back from the dead. Doesn't matter. He did. That's done. It's like a weird shifting date, too. All right. Anyway, that's my little bitchy bit about Christianity and overemphasis on this stuff that just is completely unimportant. And yeah, I just said Easter as a holiday was unimportant. 1 second. Oh, God damn it. Hold on. 1 second. Sorry. Middle of the day streaming. It's the best. All right, here we go. We're going to go to this one. It's transgender shit. This is the funny, like, how do you, I just bitched about Easter, but I'm going to bitch about this more. Not longer, but like worse. I guess, I don't know. Oh shit. Bassmaster 127 says, "Yo, Nick, how is mini painting going?" It's not. Just started 40K collection and in detail painting hell. Dude, I don't do anything anymore. Brief aside. There's going to be I'm going to record a video for locals, supporters coming out really soon. I know the schedule's been really fucked up, and some people are talking about how I'm like treating it kind of flippantly. I'm not trying to, but I get tired of like explaining over and over, like, oh yeah, shitty schedule, blah blah blah, and people not really liking that. So I just try and skip. They're like, please stop talking about your schedule. I'm like, I know it sucks. So I'm going to just record a thing for the locals people to let you guys know about it. Because it's not like I just don't do streams because. It's because life got turned into a fucking tornado. Real Patriot Party says, Rumble flip. Flapjacks need turning. Popat. Come on, Nick. I'm not doing a Rumble flip today. All right, here we go. Here we go. Back to this story. Sorry, to this story. I thought I had to make sure I did everything else. All right, so this is a story from Hollywood Unlocked. Okay, we got Joe Biden with these weird, like, rabbit. I guess he's got an Easter. He's probably sitting on an Easter bunny's penis. We got Trump smirking. But his hair. Guys, what happened to Trump? What happened to Trump? Why does he look like he has an early 2000s gelled down haircut? Remember when everybody did that? They pushed their like hair down over their forehead and gel it down. Does Trump look like that? No, poof it back up, Trumpy. That'd be great. Here we go. And then we got Bruce Jenner over here. Somehow looking scarier than Biden. Like Bruce is fine. But he's weird. He's fucking weird. Anyway. Hello, honey. I'm Bruce. I'm Caitlyn Jenner. President Joe Biden is sparking fury nationwide, including reactions from both Donald Trump and Caitlyn Jenner. Oh, yeah. Both of those. What a weird title. Right? Like, or not title. What a weird line. Both Donald Trump and Caitlyn Jenner, as if both Donald Trump and Caitlyn Jenner would not. They're both massive public figures who comment on everything. after declaring Easter Sunday as Transgender Day of Visibility. Does that mean we have to look at their genitals? A day of awareness to celebrate the successes of transgender and gender nonconforming people. Name 3. That's all I'm saying. Chat, can you name 3 transgender and gender nonconforming successes? And if you throw out that 42% statistic, I will come to your house and kill you myself. None of that. I mean, like actual successes. And don't answer. God damn it. I'll let you guys do it. Let's see. On Friday, March 29th, President Biden proclaimed that on this year's Easter Sunday, which falls on March 31st, 2024, America will also celebrate Transgender Day of Visibility. However, it should be noted that since 2009, March 31st has been the designated day for Transgender Day of Visibility. Has anybody heard this before? I mean, I know it says it, but has anybody heard this before? It just so happens that this year, Easter Sunday falls on the same day, which means Christ is intruding on a trans. In an official statement, the P-R-E-Z, stated, on Transgender Day of Visibility, we honor the extraordinary courage and contributions of transgender Americans and reaffirm our nation's commitment to forming a more perfect union where all people are created equal and treated equally throughout their lives. Guys, does the irony of that statement stand out to anybody else? Well, all people are created equal. Wait, are they? Because last I checked, trans people are created just a little bit short or a little bit too much, right? They either need an addictomy or they need to chop a dick off of me, right? Like they need one of those surgeries. So they're literally not created equal. Like according to the idea is that, well, we're all created equal. It's like, well, but I need a surgery that'll be equal. That's weird. That's not the same thing as being created equal. If you're created equal, you wouldn't need to do a procedure to be equal. Now, I think we aren't. Like, I genuinely believe we're created equally. And I have no problem with trans people wanting to look different or modify themselves. I don't care about anybody modifying themselves, though. Like, I don't care if you're trans or not. Slap dildos all over your body. It doesn't bother me. And treated equally throughout their lives. Back to the article. But they're not created equally. By definition, they can't be. I don't mean to be rude. It's just how it goes. Like, sorry, guys. If you think you need a surgery to be who you are, if you need, like, gender affirming care resulting in a transition surgery, then you weren't created equal. I think you were created equal. Like, I think that happened. But the thing that comes later, like that you require it, I don't think that means you were created equal. That's just a personal difference. Biden added, I'm proud that my administration has stood for justice from the start, working to ensure the LGBTQI plus community can live openly in safety with dignity and respect. I'm proud to have appointed transgender leaders to my administration. I'm not. Get those fuckers out of the military, you weirdo. And have ended the ban on transgender Americans serving openly in our military. I don't care if a trans serves in the military openly, like we don't know. Girl, you shower with the other girls. When you pull your pants down, there's 3. Never mind. It's the high-ranking officers like, let's promote this fucking trans person. Why? Because no. Here's the reason. Let's do this real quick. God damn it. See, I'm spiraling into different tangents. The reason we don't have trans people serving openly in the military, the reason we didn't have gay people serving openly in the military is because of what you hear all the time in relation to it. Identity. The military doesn't give a shit if you're gay. They don't care if you're trans. They don't care what gender you are. They don't care about anything. Can you be broken down and built back up into a cohesive unit for the purposes of the military? If your identity is so entrenched in your gender, then you cannot. You just cannot be useful. Because when you need to throw the grenade and you ask the pronouns of the person eating the grenade, you're already dead. I am proud to have signed historic executive orders to strengthen civil rights, protections, and housing, employment, healthcare, education, and justice system, and more. I'm proud to have signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law, ensuring that every American can marry the person they love. I don't care about that. The country shouldn't be involved in marriage. Biden's statement, which appears on the White House website. By the way, I just want to say this. It actually isn't true, right? Not everybody can marry the person they love. There are plenty of instances of people who can't. I'm not even talking about like the creepy, like illegal stuff. There are people who want to marry another person and they can't. Still. And this is a slippery slope of having the government define marriage, and it shouldn't. The government should have nothing to do with it. Marriage should not confer specific benefits. Marriage should not contain any meaning in government. The government should be entirely civil union based with clear rules. Everything else should just be up to the people in their own faith, belief system, whatever. Because what do you care? Like 14 dudes living together be like, wear husbands. Do you care though? Like, I don't care. What, they're going to have circle fuck? I don't care about that either. I don't want to see it. I don't give a shit what they do. You don't either when you really get down to it because you have more important shit in your day. But this idea that like, oh yeah, every American can marry the person that they love, it's not true. There's a bunch of people who can't. Biden's statement, which appears on the White House website, continued. Today we send a message to all transgender Americans. Starting over. You are loved. You're heard. No. You're understood. Even more no. You belong. Not really. That was the whole problem in the first place. They didn't feel like they belonged. Oh, God. You are America. Literally no. Literally no. I love trans people. They give you monkey bars where monkey bars didn't exist. It's great. You are America? No, they're not. Absolutely not. They're a problem America attempts to rectify in a fair way. Like, you can do it yourself. Go get it. Like everything else. But trans people are not America. Hetero people are not America. America's immune to sexuality. Except for me. In my entire administration, I have your back. Hopefully we get your front soon. Now, therefore, I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., President of the United States of America, I think, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility. I call upon all Americans to join us in lifting up the lives and voices of transgender people through our nation and to work toward eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. So he did declare it. Like, he declared the thing. But it was already there. I don't know. Immediately reacting to Joe Biden's proclamation, prominent politicians, Christians, members of the LGBTQ community, and more flooded social media platforms with criticism and feedback. That's cool. Let's see. Donald Trump, former president and presumptive GOP presidential nominee for 2024. No, wait, Nikki Haley. Wait, who's the other one? Not Nikki Haley, is it? Who's the other? Who's the one who's like should be out? God damn it. Republican candidates. Is it Nikki Haley? Oh, it's Nikki Haley. Yeah, I thought so. Then I thought it was. No, she wouldn't do. No. Yeah, Nikki Haley's going to do it. She's going to make a comeback. They condemned the announcement. Trump claimed the proclamation is just another part of the Biden administration's years-long assault on the Christian faith. Very good Christian. I'm a wonderful Christian. I love Jesus. He's a good guy. He makes the tacos on the 87th floor, Trump Tower. They're great tacos. Wonderful. Not to be confused with the taco salad. Via his national press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump stated, It is appalling and insulting that Joe Biden's White House prohibited children from submitting religious egg designs for their Easter art event and formally proclaimed Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility. Sadly, these are just two more examples of the Biden administration's not good, years-long assault on the Christian faith. We call on Joe Biden's failing campaign. Haley is terrible, doesn't have the money, doesn't have the gusto, doesn't have the energy, frankly. Have you looked at him? He can't do it. And the White House to issue an apology to the millions of Catholics and Christians across America who believe tomorrow is for one celebration only, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Caitlyn Jenner was transitioned from the male-born Olympic athlete Bruce Jenner. Also, I mean, it's still Bruce Jenner. It's still literally Bruce Jenner. Anyway, God damn it. Also reacted, taking to her X account, formerly Twitter. They say formerly Twitter, they don't say formerly Bruce. Caitlyn Jenner wrote, I am absolutely disgusted that Joe Biden has declared the most holy days, a self-proclaimed devout Catholic, as Transgender Day of Visibility. The only thing he should be declaring on this day is he is risen. And I don't know about that. Don't run around yelling he is risen. That's weirder than stuff that I do. Who runs around going like, he is risen? Don't do that. You do that in a grocery store, and I hope you get punched for Jesus. This is weird. That the Caitlyn Jenner thing is very strange to me because Caitlyn Jenner is a trans. I don't think trans people can't be religious. I don't have any problem with them in that regard. Like, go do it. I don't have a problem with trans people being anything except around me and weird. If you're around me and normal, I'm good. If you're around me and weird, you and Emmett Till are going to have words. How do I salvage that joke from sounding terrible? I won't. There we go. Anyway. That was a really, really deep fucking joke. Oh my God. Look, here's the issue. Biden declares Easter Sunday as Transgender Day of Visibility. They declared that this day was. It has been since 2009, but this seems a little more formal. It's like it's always the way stories go in law and in life. There's two sides, and the truth is somewhere either in the middle or way out in the left fucking field. In this case, seems like the answer is somewhere in the middle. But the whole reality is that even if this is the day of transgender visibility, the president doesn't have to make a big deal about it on Easter, clearly overshadowing Easter for Christians. And yeah, I know, you tranny weirdos. I got it. But we want our day and our time and our recognition. I don't care about your day recognition or time. You could do it tomorrow. He could have done it yesterday. Or, more appropriately, he could have done it every other day that you have it. And by the way, Transgender Awareness Day is every single calendar day. There is no break. There is no time off. There is no pause. There is no, oh, well, it's this month. Even black people get ignored for a while. Trans don't. They don't. We need awareness. I want to be way less aware of them because their makeup's bad. They smell worse. And they're all just guys. It's gross. They're guys when they cut their penises off and have a vagina that doesn't make them girls. They're still guys. They're just wounded. But when a chick sews up her vagina and slaps a cock on it, that's a guy. That's a guy thing to do. It's like, oh, I can put a dick there. I'm going to do that. So trans people are all just men. They're all just guys. That's the conclusion. We should ignore them. Like everybody else. Everybody else ignores guys. All right. Look, I don't really care about this story, though. Honestly, it's just kind of funny to me. I don't give a shit what Biden does. I didn't even know it happened until today. Zero Smoke says, is it weirder than the stuff you do? Wait. You're asking me if chopping your penis off and having someone battle axe the split into you is weirder than what I do? Yes. Yeah. That's the easy question. Ask me a harder one. James Gartner says, happy Easter, buddy. Happy best, deepest racist joke day. You too. You too. It's just a weird thing. Is that worse than what you do? Yeah. None of my stuff involves chopping a penis in quarters and shoving it inside and having to dilate for the rest of my life so I bleed. Weird. It's fucking strange. All right. Your boy HP Lovecraft says, did you see the trans man having a breakdown because no one cares about her now? I think it's an old video, right? If so, yes. If it's a new video, no. Please send it to me. That sounds delicious. Look, all you trans people, can you imagine being trans? To men, hey guys, show of hands. Hey guys, can you imagine being trans? You see how like people care about them? Sucks to be y'all. Wait, people care about them? Like how old are they? Like 15? 15? They care about them at 15? Oh my God, I'm a legal drinker away from being cared about in the slightest. Yeah, sorry. It's only from my own kids. Yep. So your life sucks. You know why? Because you suck. Because you're a dude. Oh, they don't care about trans. You don't care about trans? Just try being a guy who isn't fucking other guys. No one cares about you. No one gives a shit. This is the, by the way, I don't want this to change. Because you men are pussy. I don't want this to change because that's the deal. That's what you signed up for when God was like, dick or pussy. And you're like, dick sounds great. You're like, no, I want to eat it. As you go down the slide. No. Like, that's what happened. You chose to be a guy, obviously. You knew it was coming with it. And what was coming with it was women complaining the entire time that you exist. Your entire life. Complaining. Then they'll be like, oh, but like, I didn't mean any of it. Sorry, I got this pickle jar. There's a high shelf. Can you please grab the cereal? Oh, I see how it is, you bitch. Like, this is how it goes. This is how it is. Trans people need awareness. Oh, all right. Cool. Try being a guy over 30. You want awareness issues? Guy over 30, under 40. Try it out. I'll wait. That 42% is going to skyrocket. I think this story's dead. I hate this fucking story. James Garner. Wait, I read that one. Thanks. Look, it always weirds me out when people are like, well, they didn't respect my opinion. Yeah. Okay. Well, they didn't let me sit at the table. All right. Any guy who's ever heard a trans person complain about their woes, like as they run around town do all this stuff, like, oh my God, you got a table? Holy shit. They're sitting there marveling. They're like, this is the easiest day of my entire life. And the trans person's crying because they got their estrogen implants right away. But it's fucking weird. I don't know how this gets lost. Like, anyway, guys suck. There, that's the conclusion. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit that Joe Biden declared this a trans thing. I hope he takes all the political punishment he can get because that's great. But I don't give a shit. I don't really care about Easter as a day. I care about the concept of Easter. I care about the concept of a risen Christ that lived as man, died as man, was resurrected as man, lived as man again, and then ascended. He didn't die. He was brought back. Cool. That being said, I don't care what you do to the day. I don't care if you put trans shit in there. Don't though. But not because it's Easter, but just because it's fucking boring. It's fucking boring. I don't care about people's genitals. Jesus, unless I'm trying to get in them. And I'm not trying to get in that trans weirdos. You know how much they have? Dilate. I'm not going to talk about this. Next topic. What we got here? Oh, shit. Media matters. He has to do the Asman. It's boring. It's boring. I can't scream in British. That was a good rant. An American says your liver's 100 years old. Maybe just drink on weekends, Nick. It is the weekend, faggot. It's the weekend right now. Anyway. God, it's amazing. Okay, here we go. Missouri attorney. This is Easter's done. It's already over. It's like 6 o'clock. Easter doesn't exist. For the Jews, it's literally the next day. Like, we got rid of that problem. So it's Monday for Jews. Go to work, you weirdos. Put on your fucking hat. Since we're done with Easter, let me tell you about Media Matters. Media Matters matters. The Missouri Attorney General sues Media Matters as Republicans take on critics of Musk's ex. Let's pause for a second and just realize. Guys, listen to this. Now that the critics of Twitter don't automatically get banned immediately and thrown into the garbage, it's the biggest catastrophe on the fucking planet. Bathtub Mary says a hedonist who's whining about the disrespect towards Christ. Oh, Bathtub Mary. I wish I was a hedonist. Do you know how easy life would be as a hedonist? When you live literally only for yourself, no other concerns. You have no worries or cares in the world because the only thing you do is serve your own desire. Would that I was a hedonist. Remember that whole speech I gave earlier about how important it was at church when my we read that line, or we sang the line about we live because he lives. Like life is worth the living because he lives. If you're a hedonist and you're suicidal, you're doing hedonism wrong. But holy fuck. If your only concern is your own pleasure, your own self-betterment, your own fulfillment in the moment, you don't have any long-term issues to deal with. You don't have depression. You don't have suicidal issues because whatever you are can change from second to second. It ain't that. None of that's true. But here we go. Missouri AG sues Media Matters as Republicans take on critics of Musk's ex. Move follows similar lawsuits by Texas Attorney General raising fear that news outlets could be the next targets. Amazing that Media Matters had to admit right now they're not a news outlet. The Attorney General of Missouri is suing Media Matters, a progressive watchdog group, alleging that it failed to turn over internal documents following its 2023 coverage of hate speech on the social media platform X. Head of the group says news outlets could be the next targets. Quote, wait, let's stop this. First of all, news outlets are insulated. Second of all, Media Matters is not a news outlet. And that's why they're saying news outlets could be the next target. They're literally saying we are not a news outlet. We're not that. Media Matters never was. But that's not a good admission. Probably won't matter, but it's not a good admission. Okay, so following its 2023 coverage of hate speech on the social media platform X. What is hate speech? No one knows. No one knows. M says, what if you're a neurotic hedonist? Oh, that's a good question. God. Again, I gotta do this. I gotta say this. It's weird. Being a hedonist would make life so fucking easy. Like, oh, I want that. I'll go buy it. I'll put my foot in it, and then my tongue, and then my hand, in that order. It's weird. Okay, quote, Media Matters has pursued an activist agenda in his attempt to destroy X because they cannot control it. The lawsuit said, describing X, formerly known as Twitter, as a free speech platform that allows Missourians to express their own viewpoints in the public square. The lawsuit filed by Missouri's Attorney General, Andrew Bailey, on Monday marks the second time the GOP officials have taken legal action against Media Matters to support Elon Musk, X's billionaire owner. In November, the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, he of the disparate eyes. Steve Gosney says, I do not think hedonism reduces self-deletion, just the opposite. I don't think so either, Steve Gosney. I didn't say life would end well. I just said it'd be easier in the meanwhile. Here we go. In November, the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, launched an investigation into Media Matters, describing the group as a radical anti-free speech organization. Unlike his wife, Ken Paxton nailed it here. Oh, my Jewish hat wore off. Get in the oven. A white guy named Tyrone says trans people are just gay fags that pretend they are straight. Yes, that's very funny. James Gardner says it's always the weekend or whatever, faggot. Yeah, of course. It's true. Every day's the weekend. He also says your hat doesn't have a brim, but it does have a bris. Okay, here we go. Terrible. These state attorney generals is attorneys general. God damn it, Media Matters. Attorneys general, not attorney generals. Very different terms. These state attorney generals, first Paxton, now Bailey, are directly responding to Musk's pleas. They're helping him punish critics, said Angelo Cardoson, president of Media Matters. He literally hired a drug dealer to be the president of Media Matters. The rush to defend Musk against the organization, a newly appointed enemy of the right. Wait. I'm sorry. Did they just call Media Matters a newly appointed enemy of the right? Because I've been watching Media Matters for years, and they've always been an enemy of the right. What the fuck is this? They're supposed to be Rush Limbaugh to the right, but they can't. The rush to defend Musk against the organization, a newly anointed enemy of the right, underscores Musk's rising profile among Republicans as a free speech crusader. Yes, Republicans would like to speak freely. Cardoson worries that the GOP's embrace of Musk of the billionaires stifle important criticism of X and the right-wing extremism and hate speech that proliferate there. Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. Guys, the other day, Lady Raggets got a voicemail, and I checked it. I don't normally check it. I was like, oh, cool, voicemail. It started playing. It's the most whiny fucking punk music I've ever seen. Why is this? Why are we doing this? This is terrible. Anyway. So, like, they don't have time. They don't have time. They don't have time. Quote, newsrooms are next. There's no reason to think that the state attorney generals would stop at Media Matters, Caruso told The Guardian. Now, there's tons of reasons you're literally politically opposed to the administration. and the shadow administration. All of that stuff you're opposed to. Musk, whose takeover of Twitter began with the reinstatement of neo-Nazi users. Here it goes. Here it goes. Yes, Stephen Gosney says that I will host the exclusive launch of his new novel, along with special guest Andrew Branca. Branca's going to be here. Gosney's going to be here. We're going to get Gosney's, this motherfucker. I've never in my life felt more inadequate than meeting Stephen Gosney. Ever. Like, hey, Steve, what'd you do today? I wrote 4 books. One about the death penalty and how it applies in Florida. And one of them was about all the cases I've ever worked on entirely synthesized into one case, and I hybridized and fictionalized just for the scope of brevity. How long is it? 1,500 pages. Oh, okay, George R.R. Gosney. Great. What was the third thing you did? Badgered you about reading all of them right now before our show tonight. I mean, Jesus Christ, Steve, I can't do that. I love Gosney. He's a gem. His wife is better than him, and his son seems really cool too. I've met him in person, but seriously, this guy's out here writing more books than is healthy. Steve, don't you know? Copernicus told us, stop reading. That's what the fucking losers do. Anyway, so here we are. Now it's the GOP stifling important criticism on Twitter. That's right. I fucking hate liberals, guys. It always happens like this. It always happens. The fuck out of there. It always happens. Liberals do this. They try to shut you down. They're trying to shut you down. And they can't. So what happens next? They can't shut you down. They can't do anything to you. So what do they do next? Oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the fucking watchdogs, to the attorney general, the liberal ones, go everywhere and tell them that you're a racist, you're a monster, you're a bigot. You wouldn't have the chance today. And you're like, I'm not a racist. I don't care. Put soy sauce on your fucking chula or whatever. Chula, is that a Mexican thing? Put soy sauce on your egg rolls that are on your carnitas. There. Soy sauce is good. Just do it. So I don't have to worry about being racist anymore because it's gross. I care. But they care. All these people care. And so you have to care. That's the reality of this fucking story. So, long story short, Ken Paxton, whoever this is, what the fuck? Who is this? I forgot already. Who is this guy? Attorney General of Missouri. Where is the fucking website? Here we go. Come on. Quote, Media Matters has pursued an activist agenda in its attempt to destroy X because they cannot control it. Lawsuit said describing X, formerly known as Twitter. Oh, shit. Why don't I have this up? Formerly known as Twitter, as a free speech platform that allows Missourians to express their own viewpoints in the public square. Yeah, you and TikTok, bitch. The lawsuit filed by Missouri's Attorney General, Andrew Bailey, on Monday marks the second time the GOP officials taking legal action against Media Matters to support Elon Musk. X, the billionaire owner, in November, the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, launched an investigation into Media Matters, describing the group as a radical anti-free speech organization. Look, guys, we don't need to belabor this. Let's just do this simply. Wrap up the show. Here we go. Media Matters is a watchdog group. Watchdog groups hide under the First Amendment as opinion makers. They just have opinions. Look, you're just a racist. You're just a Nazi. You're just a bigot. You're just the worst person to ever exist. And no one should do any business with you. No one should do anything with you. That's what they should do. They get to say that. And you go, why? You go, well, because you're racist, you're a bigot, whatever. These are all like relatively protected ideas. They're opinions. You can't prove them. Prove you're not racist. Try it. Try to prove you're not racist. Can't. Prove you're not a bigot. Prove you're not a misogynist. Prove you're not whatever. Try and do it. You can't do that. So what you get wrapped up in is trying to prove whatever they ask you for. Whatever you say to them, they'll twist into something to support their argument, right? No, I'm not into anybody. I'd take my underwear off. And they're like, no, it's a sale for a boat. You're like, why do we have a boat? It's weird. Didn't make sense. This is how it works. Anything you do, anything you say, anything you do, anything you manifest, anything you're close to, adjacent to, or representing gets imposed upon you. And all you can do is say sorry. And that's kind of scary. That the only thing you can do is apologize. And when you apologize, what happens? Do the watchdog groups back down? No. Do the watchdog groups stop? Do they recommend that you're okay? Do they do anything of the sort to repair your reputation that they've destroyed? No. The watchdog groups, when you say sorry, will curate episodes, and that's it. They won't do anything else. It is wild that they do this over and over and over again. And so we don't need the article for this, but we'll just talk for a second. Attorneys general are suing Media Matters, which it's really irrelevant. Elon Musk attempted to sue Media Matters on behalf of himself and Twitter for defamation. They can't win that case because Media Matters is quintessentially an opinion rag, constantly saying people are not doing enough or doing too much. Elon Musk got wrapped up into it. That's it. Why should Musk have to suffer because he didn't give $500 million to this other guy? Musk didn't give a lot of stuff. He shouldn't have to. But these people demand stuff from anybody with money when they don't have any, because they might be able to sell it later for a profit. All of this comes down to whether the attorneys general or not are going after Media Matters, whether or not they're successful. The populace has to start feeling the sting of being left out. They have to start feeling the sting of not getting lovingly fucked, but only getting hate fucked. Because Media Matters will ruin the person delivering the news. They'll also ruin the receiver of the news. They'll ruin everything on purpose because their ideological identity is so vastly different from yours. You want a drink. You want something to calm down. They want ammunition. They want something to amp up. They can bring to your door and harm you. Harm you. Of course you do. Because that's the world we live in now. Look at brief summary. Defamation cases against companies like Media Matters, watchdog groups, they're never going to win. Not under the current jurisprudence. They could come out and say someone's a child molester, a child rapist, or whatever with no proof. They just say it. They report it in their article, and it'd be fine. They won't be taken to task. Nobody will. We need a new Media Matters correspondent. We need a new person coming in from the courts who is not raised in the Southern Poverty Law Center, because we need someone who can just go, yeah, actually, no, this is ridiculous. We just need lights and a camera. We don't need an agenda or anything else. With that, guys, cheers to you. It's 6:30. A little later than I planned to go. I'm sufficiently sloshed. It's great. It's Easter. I'm very Catholic today. I hope you all have a wonderful day with your families, with your friends. And in a moment of clarity and no levity, I genuinely believe and mean this. Okay, guys? I know look, I like to lean into the drinking or whatever. But hear me for true right now. For those of you out there who are Christians, embrace the ones you love and those around you. For Christ is risen. For those of you who are not Christians, allow yourself to be embraced by your friends who are believers. Whether you will believe or not after is irrelevant. And then finally, for the organizers of the Christian faith, who all tell us what to do every Sunday, can you please strongly consider not doing any of that shit, just having a normal service? Because the normal work of a Christian, the normal ministry, love, donations of a Christian are worth more than any cheap massage or anything else. Don't ever be fooled into letting your self-worth be sold at auction on the altar of an agenda or a number or a quota. Go do good to people. That's it. The ultimate message of the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus' most important talk that no one wants to talk about, but the ultimate message of the Sermon on the Mount is go do good to people. Because how you see yourself, you should kind of feel like garbage. You should know you're okay. Kind of feel like garbage, but go do good to others. That's my Easter message for all of you. Stop worrying about going to church on Easter, dressing up nice, getting the kids in the car. Stop worrying about any of that stuff. All you need to do on Easter is remember, not proclaim, just remember subtly, Christ is risen. Because he is risen, I am saved. I have the opportunity to bring anybody with me so long as I save them. How do you save them? I just say, hi, my name's Keith. How you doing? Done. That's it. So I hope you guys go. Enjoy your Easter. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your loneliness if that's what you've got. I have all of those three. It's going to be great. Enjoy your day. See you tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful time. But really focus on what you have, not what you've been given. That's the God thing. But focus on what you have. Smile and just say, hey, please stop trying to sell me a vacuum cleaner. You Kirby motherfucker. I don't want it. I never wanted it in the first place. I don't want a vacuum cleaner. And no, I'm not a Mormon. Oh my God, I don't want to plan it either. Art the Clown says happy Easter to you and all your family. Hey, you too, Art. All right, peace, guys. I love you all. I hope you have a nice time. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Transgenderland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an odd beg about more of the brook. The spirits blow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost planning tonight. From the white shores of Nam to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the dawn better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, the guests are all planet folks from Duck Tea to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost planning tonight. From the white shores of Nam to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the wrong better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what